In this video, we're going to be racing the feature race at GRX for yet another karting league race. The sprint race before this feature race didn't go to plan. I qualified second position and spun out like lap 1, and I finished basically second to last. And on top of all of that, my GoPro was not recording a single bit. So now here's the feature race of that day. And boy, was this one a fun one. And because of our terrible finish in the sprint race, we're going to be starting P4. As we take the green flag, the leaders ahead were a little bit conjoined together, and because of that, 5th place takes the opportunity to get to my right side. But for some reason, now that we're 3 wide down the straight, the dude in the yellow shirt just was squeezing me and the dude to my right side totally into the wall. And now coming out of the first turn, he was still squeezing me and was giving me no space to race him. As you can see, I'm turning straight into him to try and stay out of the wall. He manages to clear me as I drop back, but this is not going to be the last time I'm letting that slide. And as we're coming around to my most hated corner, I'm going to let on the brakes way too early so that I can get back on the throttle and have a better exit than him. He still manages to make contact with me, but we're still going to be able to clear him, moving ourselves back up into 4th position. Now on lap 1, it's a chase to catch back up to the leaders ahead. This race was going to be 30 minutes long with a new race configuration. I showed up to the track that day completely not expecting it, and I spin out a good amount of times in the sprint race and qualifying, even in this race. But we're managing to adapt well to it, and hope is not lost. The first 2 sessions before this race, I was doing absolutely terribly, so I don't know where it came from that I was so easily able to pass other drivers on the track. As you can see, I'm trying to have a way tighter line than the rest of the drivers, which does help me catch back up to them pretty quickly. On top of a 30-minute race, a new race configuration, and totally different karts, we still have the opportunity to take 2 joker laps. If you don't know what that is, in the chicane, we have the opportunity 2 times in the race to cut it. That saves you about 3 seconds a lap. But in the total 30-minute race, you can only do it 2 times. So you really have to plan accordingly. Coming around on lap 3, there's been a lead change, and I'm now completely caught up to the 3 leaders. As we're coming down to the end of the front stretch, we entered my favorite part of the track, and we managed to clear him coming out of turn 1. That moves us back up into 3rd position, and we now have 2 very talented drivers ahead of us. Yet again, coming into this corner, I'm going to brake early so I can get back on the throttle sooner. But the driver ahead did some amazing defense moves, and I was still stuck in 3rd. After that move, I knew this win was not going to be free, and I was going to have a lot of fun during this race. This kart, compared to the karts that I usually race at this track, do not have a back seat, which means I'm the only thing that's dragging in the air when I'm on the front stretch. So when I lean down, it's kind of like a mini DRS, and I'm able to have way better aerodynamics coming down the straight. And you'll see me do this a lot during this race, and I make up a whole lot of time because of it. As the leader goes way too wide coming out of that turn, he gets on the curbs, leaving me and the 2nd place driver to take his position. Now I'm running 2nd, right behind a driver who has crazy defense moves. I was kind of expecting a mess up or a slip up from one of the drivers ahead because they were battling a good bit. And as the 3rd place driver, I was able to stay a little bit behind them, waiting for a mistake from one of them. And that's exactly what happens as I take his position. The leader spends one of his 2 joker laps on this lap, and now I can see if I'm truly faster and have the pace to beat him. As you can see, the gap in between me and him down the front stretch widens a good bit. But now it's time to play catch up. As the gap decreases a good amount in just half a lap, I'm going to decide to keep my 2 joker laps to myself for later on in the race in case I need them. And boy, do I need them later on in the race. As we're coming around to finish this final lap into the chicane and out of the chicane onto the front stretch, I'm going to manage to stay right behind him, collecting slipstream, and I'm going to bend over so that I get mini DRS. This puts my car right to the back bumper of his. But yet again, he defends his position very well. I saw that move coming, so I moved straight to the outside so we go too wide into turn 1. I yet again have way more momentum than him on the exit, but again he blocks me. I stay behind him for a little bit longer, trying to regain my momentum on him, and I knew this battle for the lead was going to be so fun. I know I have a faster pace, but with his moves, I'm going to have to be strategic about where I make it. As I take a more straighter and tighter line through these turns, I have a way better exit. And this time I managed to get alongside of him. But now he spends his last Joker lap to try and keep his position. Keep in mind, this is exactly what I want, because now I have 2 and he has 0. And now lap traffic is going to be into the mix, which means there are more variables to slow him down. I just have to keep my pace and get around the lap traffic as soon as possible. As long as we spend less time or the same amount of time getting around a lap driver, I'm going to be looking good. And you can see with this move on the number 12, I was planning to spend the least possible time behind them. Yet, there is still one driver ahead of him, but no drivers in between me and the leader. As I gain momentum, it's looking good until we get to the front stretch. And just like that, I thought the lead had gone away from me. As me and the driver in third get caught up in a huge wreck. That drops the driver who was in third down to fourth and me back down to third. And now the leader has a huge gap. This hurt so much, I was surprised they didn't stop the race for just a brief moment. And coming into this turn, I hit the barriers because my cart had a ton of understeer. It doesn't happen again, but I was so afraid my cart was broken and that I would have lost the race. We've fallen back to third because of a lap driver who was angry I bumped into the back of him. And now it was time to show him that I wasn't pleased with that move. But coming into this turn, I went a little bit too wide and spin out, as well as the driver in the one cart. This made me lose even more time, and yet again, I show him how unpleased I was with his racing. And now because of that spin, I have dropped back from fourth after battling for the lead. You can see me looking at the leader at different parts of the track to see how far away he is, and all my hope has completely vanished. The driver who spun me out was a lap down and wasn't even battling for position. It was totally unnecessary. Later on in the race though, I knew it was 30 minutes and I saw the gap dwindling behind the leaders. This gave me a new confidence that I was going to catch them before the race ended. And now with all the passion in the world to prove myself, I start putting in the fastest lap times I ever have. I spend my first Joker lap to catch up to the third place driver, and it pays off very well. This type of moment is exactly what I was saving both of them for, and thank God I did not spend it way earlier in this race. Now that a third of the race has completely finished, and we still have 2/3 of this race, which is about 20 more minutes, I have basically made zero progress. We started fourth, and now I'm back in fourth. As now we're gonna have a moment to try and pass the third place driver to get ourselves back into podium. At this point, I'm driving very angry and it's kind of paying off for me. I'm dialed in and I'm focusing on the race and nothing but the race. The adrenaline kicks in and I have zero hurt from the wreck before, and it's not till the very end of the race that I start hurting again. Nothing too crazy, but definitely wore off during the race. Now, yet again, we use our last Joker lap on this race. I've moved up into third and I'm trying to catch the driver in second position. Remember that the leader has 0 Joker laps left, which means I just gained about 6 seconds on both of those laps on the leader. As we come back to the driver who spun me out earlier in this race, I honestly forgot who did it. I thought it was him, but I wasn't totally sure, so I wasn't going to be too aggressive, but I definitely wasn't going to be held up behind him. As we managed to get around him fairly easy, we're now having an open track between me and second place. I have no idea how much time is left in this race, but I'm pushing harder than I'm pushing ever before. As we come into this chicane, my race was almost ruined for the second time. We lost a good amount of time braking and had a terrible exit, but at least we didn't hit that driver because that definitely would have hurt for both of us. Now jumping ahead 2.5 minutes into this race of me just driving completely by myself, we catch up to the back of second place and a lap driver, which we get around fairly easy. We have crazy momentum on the driver ahead who's in second position. But our speed is evenly matched going down the front stretch, so I wasn't going to be able to make a move. Although I'm determined to catch the leader and I'm choosing to spend as little time passing any driver possible, I'm still trying to be clean as possible. Yet again, we're coming into this part of the track where I hate the most, but I've been making all my moves there. And this isn't going to be different as I take second place from the driver ahead. Now we have our eyes set on the leader. As we fast forward another 2 laps of me driving by myself, I have finally caught up to the leader and a lap traffic driver who he was being held up by. We are now a little bit over halfway in this race and I've caught right back up to the leader. Still, I have no idea how much time is left, but I know I still have some time. Just like races prior to this one, I asked my girlfriend to go to the sideline when there was about 10 to 5 minutes left. So I know we still have some time to get around him. And yet again, the driver who spun us out earlier has slowed us down detrimentally. We fall back down to third and all of our momentum is killed yet again. At this point, I'm incredibly frustrated because I just want to battle for the lead, but this guy is continually trying to get in my way. As the lap driver ahead gets totally spun out, it's now basically back to how the race started. It's third, second, and first all together with no traffic in between us. I was planning on giving the momentum to second place as me and him both try and catch the leader so that maybe those two will fight again and one of them will lose out. But instead, he gives me second place without a fight. And now coming out of the chicane onto the front stretch, we have caught right back up to the leader. Coming out of turn 1 into the middle section of the track, we're gonna have a lot more speed than him and manage to get right back to his back bumper. This time, I was planning not to be held up by his defensive moves and be a little bit more aggressive. As we get a way better exit coming out of that turn yet again, we're gonna have the momentum coming down into the S's. We don't manage to get alongside him and he clears us coming back into the chicane. I was gonna let him go as I didn't want to spin out yet again in this race. Now we have roughly 10 more minutes in this race and 2/3 of it have gone by. I bend my head down to get some more DRS and it works until he blocks me and kills all of my momentum. And I just want to point out that I'm not complaining about how this guy is driving me. I want this competition and it serves a lot of fun. As I got alongside of him, we entered a super tight corner and I backed out because I did not want to spin out and we almost made contact. I'm driving aggressively, but I do not want to spin out as I've done that too many times already in this race. We finally get to the inside and again in this corner we take the position back. We are finally leading this race and now I have nobody to slow me down in front of me. But I was not going to let off my pace as I was driving more intently than ever. I have a clear open track and I'm still trying to activate my mini DRS and gain as much time from the leaders as possible. This, I was determined, was going to be my victory. Some more time goes by and I have zero contact with the drivers behind me, and now I'm just going to be cutting up through lap traffic. And yes, that is a different driver in the one kart. If you're wondering if that dude got any punishment, he did. He got permanently banned from that track because of the way he was driving. He approached me after the race and told me that he was sorry about the incident and that it wasn't on purpose, which I kinda don't believe, but I shrugged it off and told him it was alright. And at that point, it was the end of the race and my nerves had calmed down a lot. It was now coming down to the very end of the race, and most of the lap traffic are letting me by without a fight, which is a huge switch up from how it was in the beginning of the race. But now the drivers behind me who were battling for position have completely dropped back, and at the end of the race, I build a 20-second gap between me and second place. And yes, I do end up winning this race with an amazing comeback, something I have never expected for me to do ever before. Now, as I'm traveling behind these lap traffic drivers, my aggression has gone down quite a bit as I have a huge gap between me and second place and I can take my time passing these drivers. But yet again, even at this very end of the race, I almost wreck out yet again. Such close calls are happening at the end of that chicane and it's been amazing. As we come around for the white flag, which was really a green flag because they didn't have a white flag, we have a 20-second gap between me and second place. So no pressure at all behind me. And now, no lap traffic ahead of me, so I just have to make one more clean lap and then I can take the win of a lifetime. This race was so fun, and if I had the opportunity to watch this race again or relive this race again, I would pay money to do so. This win was super helpful to me as I was being disappointed after terrible race finishes for the past couple weeks. But after such an amazing comeback, my confidence is now at an all-time high, almost as high as it was when I got my first win ever. As we come around for the final time, we're gonna take this checkered flag, and a checkered flag well earned. And yes, this was celebrated in complete silence. I think I was way too baffled that I won that race to even scream or say anything in my cockpit. Now that's gonna wrap up this video, and if you want to see more intense racing like this, I will continue to post it. Consider subscribing as you follow me through my journey through motorsports, and I'll see you all in the next video.